When I would say even starting in elementary school, I have this question here. It's like, am I dumb? And I think this is kind of a sad question, but I want to dispel any thoughts here. When I went through elementary school and even in junior high or high school, one thing that I labeled myself as was a bad reader. Even in elementary school, where we started with the different reading levels, it's something that I'll never forget. And I always felt I was always further behind than other people in reading, and it made me feel like maybe I wasn't as smart as some of my other students and friends, and maybe made me feel a little bit behind. And even honestly, up until a couple of years into college, I still had some of these thoughts. Like I would take tests and study with friends, and they would do better than me. And it's in some way I felt like it wasn't fair, and maybe I was just behind in a different way. But then when I found design, and this more creative field where I was judged on the products that I was building rather than my test scores or how fast I could read, or comprehension in that sense, I realized that I could have success and that I had skills in a different space that maybe other people didn't. And I just learned and created and produced in a different way than others, and maybe in a different way than is more like traditionally held. So if you're like a young Doug and maybe you're like, I don't know about this school thing, or um, I don't love reading, or different things like that, there is a place for you to be really successful, and you may just create and learn and do in a different way than others, but it doesn't make you smarter or less smart. It just makes we're all different, and this is just one potential route, and there are a lot of different routes. If you're sitting there and you're like, well, maybe I resonate with that thought, but design sounds weird or not cool, there's a million other things that you can do and be successful and have an amazing happy life, and you don't have to feel less than. So that's one of my key points. For me and other designers, design is our superpower. That's our skill that we use to solve problems, to bring happiness, and to work, have a career, and an exciting life. And other people have different powers. Maybe it's inspiring through teaching, or maybe you're very analytical, or maybe you are a great reader, or something like that. Maybe you're a writer, and you have a different way to contribute, but your passions and your skills turn into your superpowers. One thing that I like to at least talk about in sharing about what we do at Salt Lake Community College, is that anyone can do it. You might be thinking, maybe I'm not really good at anything, and you're trying to figure out what you're pursuing, and maybe you don't really have specific passions or anything like that. Just like myself, I just started with a desire. I was 3 years into college. I had never done any design, no art classes since 8th grade, but I was really interested in learning. And when I found what I loved in design, then different things that were hard for me before, like reading or giving a presentation like this, became easier because I was really interested in the content, and I could feel myself learning and growing in the field. So no matter where you're at right now, this could be something that you could do. And Salt Lake Community College in general is super accessible. You might think college is really expensive, different things like that. There are a lot of programs, especially at Salt Lake Community College. That's where I know the most about whether it's free tuition or scholarships or different ways to get in and to be a part of it. So nothing is out of your grasp. If this sounds like something that is interesting to you. But I want to underscore this point. This is to, you're not dumb. We're all different, and we learn and grow, and we succeed in different ways. So maybe that's to none of you. Maybe none of you feel that way. But at least to a 7th grade Doug, there it is.